Welcome to the CSE Capstone project. In this video, I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know about the CSE Capstone class and everything you need to know to succeed in it. So the first thing, just a little overview, is that the Capstone project class is a project class where we're going to split up into teams of 4 or 5 students, and then each team is going to build an application. And you're going to get maybe a client that tells you this is the thing that we need, and you're going to go ahead and learn about your platform and build that application. First thing you need to know is that everything that you need for this class is at this website, csce.sc.edu/capstone. So bookmark it, remember it, visit it often. There'll be new postings here appearing every now and then about stuff that you need to know. So up here, you see I've already posted the client project proposals for this year. So one of the first things that we need to do is figure out what project you're going to be working on. There's two things that you can do. So you have 2 choices. You can either, choice 1 is to work on one of the client projects below. So let's look at those. I have right now at this moment about 23. We have 23 right now. There might be more coming in, a couple more. And so read through all those 23 client proposals, pick one that you like, well, pick 5 and order them. And then if you choose to go that way, that's what's going to happen. I'm going to post a form on this website right here where you're going to say, number 1, this is my 1 choice, number 2 choice, my number 3 choice, etc. And then I will run a program to try to maximize happiness. So, try to give everybody their first choice if possible, otherwise their second, and so forth. So that's your first choice. Or you can decide to go your own way and do a startup project. So on a startup project, you say, oh, I have my own idea. I'm going to work with these people here, and we're going to form our own project. That's fine. You can do that. The only thing is it has to be 4 or 5 students, and it has to be approved by me. So the main thing is that I have 23 projects here. I have roughly 160 students here. And I really, really want all the projects, all these 23 projects to be done. So that means roughly I'm going to need about 100 students to choose one. And so about 60 students will go to 2. If I get more than those 60, I'm going to just stop. So I'm going to accept or approve projects roughly on a first come, first serve basis. So, get on it if you really want to do choice 2. I'm not sure how this is going to work out right now. So this is the plan. So that's the first week of classes. Definitely start reading through all these, make a decision. Are you going to do 1 or 2? If you're going to do 2, remember you need to find the other people in the project, people obviously taking the class, and email me or get me their names and your idea so I can approve it. If you also, sometimes it happens, you might have a client, say a family member that has an idea for a project, and then you can do 2. So maybe they are actually your client, but they want you to work on it and your friends, and that's fine. That's totally fine. We can do that. Just do the startup part. Okay. So that's the first thing you're going to need to be doing this week, the first week of classes. Let's go over here to the syllabus so we can learn a little bit more about the class. So that's me, Jose Vidal. Sorry, I didn't introduce myself earlier. That's my email, vidal@sc.edu. You can contact me there or at GitHub at Jose M. Vidal. That's my username. You can see my calendar here. If you click there, you'll see my office hours. You can drop by anytime also. You'll also see when your team is meeting with me on my calendar there once we do those. The TAs are going to be Bridget and Honke. The way TAs work in this class is you're only going to get 1, right? So one of them will be assigned to your team, and you will interact with just the one person and me, of course. So this is the overview of the goals. Just went over those. There are no lectures in this class. As you can see, we were doing the lecture right now. Instead, what we're going to do is I'm going to meet with each team in my office every other week. So once we form teams, then after that, we'll set up times, I'll set up a forum, and you'll give me your times, and we'll set up bi-weekly meetings with every team. I do suggest that every team meets by themselves every week. And that's over here, how you do that. Like I said, we use Gitter, so there'll be a public channel for everybody to ask questions. That's also available over here. This is the Gitter public channel there. Not much right now. Close it. And there'll be some rooms there. Maybe we can I'll create some rooms for Android, iOS, etc. So you can discuss Android and stuff. Each team will have their own private room in Gitter, and there's a whole other video on that under my lectures. I'll get to that. GitHub. So everything in this class that you will do, you will turn in on GitHub. So once you create a team, I will create a repo for you, and everything that you turn in, you will turn in on that repo. So initially, you'll be using the wiki pages to turn in your sort of homework, the design milestones. And then later on, once you start programming, you will be turning in your actual code in the GitHub, the Git repo for GitHub. So everything is going to be on GitHub. Everything that you turn in will be on GitHub. The grading is over here. So we have these milestones, M1 through M11, basically homeworks. And these are the things that get graded. There's the percentage that is assigned to each one. And the thing I want to go over now is your personal contribution, which is up to 100% of your grade. So we're going to use all these to calculate a number, but then at the end of the semester, I will calculate your personal contribution. Basically, vast majority of you will be fine. You have contributed enough to your team, but there's always a couple of people who just don't pull their own weight, and they might get a lower grade there, which might mean they'll fail the class. So how do I calculate the personal contribution? I use these things here. So at the end of the semester, everybody in the team will give me a peer evaluation. So they will tell me what everybody else in the team did. I will read all those, use those to figure out your contribution. You also have to do the personal log. I will look at that. We'll go over that in a second. I'm also going to look at your Git log, of course, both for your repo and the wiki, to see how much you're contributing to. So of course the Git log doesn't lie, it tells me exactly what you did when. We're going to be looking at that. And finally, just participation in our team meetings. Firing a team member. So if your team happens to have somebody who's really not contributing anything at all or very little, you can fire them. Here are the steps, but it's pretty basic. You just give them a 2 weeks notice. If they don't turn it around, they get an F in the class, and that can happen. So that's the syllabus. Then let me go through the lectures. So during the first week, because you still don't have a team assigned, you should start watching the lectures. So our lectures are all here. They're all just YouTube videos. So we have stuff on teamwork. Now I want to mention that these are playlists. So some of them. So you see this has 3 videos. So you should watch all 3 videos. Even though this one's not by me, but I still want you to watch it. So there they are. So check them out. And then each one, there'll be some extra summary text to help you remember some of the things I said there. And then some extra resources if you want to, go in deeper. So we have lectures on teamwork, lectures on design, development, architecture, etc. Stuff like design. I have 4 videos here, but we're just scratching the surface, obviously. This is just the basic stuff that everybody needs to know. You can get a PhD in interaction design and stuff. This goes really deep. But definitely watch all these videos during the first 2 weeks when you still don't have a team. We have videos on Git and GitHub also. Watch those. And this one, though, the web application, this is just for people who are building web applications for their project. It's just some little introduction, things that everybody building a web application should know. I also teach the web applications class, and so I use some of those videos. If you're building an Android application, maybe you don't need to watch these. So watch all those lectures the first week or 2 of classes. And finally, I want to go over here the milestones. So if you click here, you see the actual milestones. These are the things that you need to do. and you click on for 490, we're going to do 1 through 11. So form teams is the first one. Pretty straightforward, just form a team. So you see, tells you what you need to do, and here on the deliverables, what you need to turn in, what we're going to be looking for. So just read these. I want to mention, they'll start with this grading team or grading individual. So this is a team grade. So that means everybody in the team will get one grade, the same grade, right? Other ones like your personal log, you'll get an individual grade. That means everybody gets their own, possibly different grade for this milestone. The personal log, you can start it right now. Obviously, you don't have a repo yet, so just put it somewhere. And once you get a repo, just cut and paste it in there. It's just the personal log is just, whatever you did that week. So I just want every week just to write a couple sentences, and this is what I did for this class. You remember, I used the personal log for your individual contributions. Research is really important. This is an individual grade, and it's due October 15th, which is far away, right? But you really need to get started now. And here, the basic idea is you're going to be building an app in some platform, say Android, iOS, Media, or whatever, and which you have never used before. So most of you are going to be building stuff for platforms you never developed for before. So you have to learn the platform. Basically, you just have to go through the tutorials, do the hello world, and then something else, just go a little bit beyond just doing what they say and learn to do the platform. Over here in the deliverables, it tells you that what we're going to be looking for is for each person must create their personal repo by following this link. So when you click over that, you'll go to this GitHub, which allows you to accept the assignment. You click there, and that'll create a private repo. It's going to be named like M3- your username, and you can put your stuff there, and we'll grade that. So it's important that you remember that during the first month where you're doing all these other milestones about design and stuff, you are also learning to use your platform. You're also programming on your own, building sample apps using your platform, learning it. This is something that, you're going to have to do for the rest of your life as a developer. I do it all the time. New platforms come in all the time. I have to learn about them. I got to learn, Android, new Android, Oreo is coming out. So you have to learn, keep up to date with the new things that are coming down the pipe. So this is good practice for that. Milestone 4 is project description and personas. This is after you meet with your client. You're going to create some personas. Again, you should watch the videos which will explain, or the lectures will explain what these words mean, and read this. They'll tell you what to do. But you see, again, we have a little grading rubric or deliverables that tell us how we're going to grade that. Then we have some design milestones. This is a rough design and a detailed design milestone. Read them. Hope you understand them. Watch the lectures I have for these. I have an actual little video that shows a little example of how to do that, how to do a rough design. Requirements. October 15th, just read this and watch the lecture on that. The architecture and source control. So by source control is going to be around October 29th. Basically, at this point, you put your code on GitHub, right? So you're going to be doing your research milestone on your own individual repo. So you're going to work on your own private repo and, just do hello world and stuff. But at some point before October 29th, one of you is going to put together, this is our first initial code base, which, is not going to do anything. But the main point is that it's the initial first commit that, push that to your actual repo, the shared one that you all share in the team. And then everybody has to everybody has to commit to that shared repo, be able to build it on their laptop, deploy it if it's a web application, run it, and then also resolve a merge conflict. So I want to see everybody try out, somebody does something on the master branch, and then I change the same line on my branch, and then I try to merge that, and I get a merge conflict, I resolve it, and I push it. So just like, actually do it on purpose. Try to generate merge conflict, resolve it on your main repo, just, so you can get some practice. So at this point, by November 1st, everybody is ready to start programming and building the prototype or the proof of concept. The proof of concept is what we need built by the end of classes, and it's what you're going to demo. So the proof of concept is what we call a vertical proof of concept implementation. You need to show that you can get this done, basically. So you need to have a working or a deployed app. If it's a web application, or if it's an Android, it has to be working on a phone, or iOS working on a phone or a tablet. And you're going to have to demo it on your final device, and it has to use all the libraries that you're going to be using. So if you have maps, or you're doing sound or animation, whatever you're going to have to use all of them just, to do something. It doesn't have to be a lot of stuff, but so that you know that you can use that library and you can make a sound and you can save stuff to the database or whatever. So similarly, exercise all the external APIs. If you're posting, to Facebook, or you're getting stuff from Amazon.com or whatever, you have to do that in some way. Deploy, again, if it's a web app, you have to deploy it. You can't just run it on your laptop. And implement at least 10%. So you have to have sort of the core functionality of your app implemented by this date, which is the end of the semester. So November and into December is when you're going to be doing all this programming. And then at the end of the semester, we'll have a demo day. And so you'll have, just 5 minutes to do a quick demo, because your app is not going to do much anyway. So that is it for this semester. The first half of the semester, you're going to be doing some design and research, learning about your platform. The second half, or the last month and a half, you're going to be programming and building your proof of concept, which you're going to present at the end of the semester.